I mean, look at these top 10 lists right here. You got Allard's number 4, Singleton's number 3. I mean,
the disrespect to Katron in almost every list I've seen, though, is like he's always the second guy.
Dude, how is Zane? How is Zane number 2?
It's just the speed. It's just the speed in the big plays.
I get it, but he bulldozes people, dude, better than anybody. So,
yo, Matt, who does Zane Durant remind you of?
He reminds me of Kevin Gibbons.
Well, let's go back to like the Joe Paterno days. Who's he remind you of?
Reminds me of like a Spice Adams.
He kind of reminds me of Ollie Ogbu a little bit.
I think he's better.
Yeah,
and Ollie was a nice player.
Yeah,
but he's
even a Jared Aldrick. Jared Aldrick was good too.
Well, Jared Aldrick was a different. He was like our version of Richard Seymour, a poor man's Richard Seymour.
Yeah, but yeah, we pick up the linebacker. You know, obviously the recruits are going to keep coming in, but
we're top.
Yeah, Matt
they
said
have to win the national championship. They win the national championship this year.
They'll get anybody they want. They'll get.
Yeah,
your recruiting picks up. Your donors pick up. People will pay for winners. You give them a taste of what it is to win in college football to this fan base who has been so close for so long. People will open up their checkbooks. How do I help?
Absolutely, man. Like the thing is, like last year they were so close. Now I don't think they beat Ohio State if they get to the national title.
Why not? Why not?
Well, Kevin Winston was out, like you said.
Okay, well, he was out when we played them during the season. I mean, we had we had the interception in the end zone with Wallace. I mean, it's a perfect throw by Aller.
Listen, our offense is better than Notre Dame's. We just made a couple mistakes. You make 2 mistakes in that game, we lose.
I would have bet $1 million, Matt, that we wouldn't have beat Ohio State.
I wouldn't have been too sure.
I mean, we never beat them
because
we never beat them, but we're going to beat them in the national championship.
See, I would feel really good because, dude, what you have to remember is like what Penn State would have been playing for at that point in time was a lot greater than what Ohio State was playing for. I mean, Penn State was playing for decades of pain. And Ohio State, I just look at that game that they played in October, and you couldn't tell me on a neutral field that we wouldn't have a chance to win that game.
Man, their fans talk so much shit. It's crazy. Like they have no reason to, but they do.
But they won the national championship. They can say whatever the fuck they want.
They do that. They do that like they breathe oxygen. I mean, like the other day, I texted Brett. I was like, Brett, get on TikTok and answer some of these morons.
You can't. Yeah, dude, you can't even go on there, dude. If you go into social media, you're just going to find negativity. Like for my page I run, someone posts a negative comment about like a video or a picture I share, I delete that and block them. Like I don't have any time for that. Like there's just too much junk there.
Oh, but what we can tell Ohio State fans now is, well, you guys lost to Michigan last year. We didn't lose to them.
We didn't lose to Michigan. Correct.
Because we didn't play.
Correct. We did not lose.
We would have beat Michigan last year, dude. We would have.
Yeah.
Dude, Ohio State fans are insufferable, man. Like they don't even. It's not one of those things where I'm like, man, like they piss me off. No, it's just like they're so stupid. Like they say the dumbest stuff. And sometimes I'll say back, I'm like, you guys won the national title. We never beat you, and you're still talking crap on this Penn State podcast. Like, you know?
It'd be like, yeah. But, listen, college football is changing, and we're in a better spot now than we were 6 years ago.
Yep.
And there's not many people that beat them. Right? There's not. Outside of Clemson and Ohio State and Michigan, those are the only teams that have really consistently beat them. Alabama, Clemson, and Michigan over the past 4 or 5 years. So
Matt, you were on Landon Tengwell's podcast, right?
He did an interview. I did an interview with him earlier in the year at Campus Stakes on my collection and all my stuff.
Yeah, was that cool?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool. He has you know what, for a younger guy, he has a really solid perspective on like the history of the program, Joe Paterno's importance to the program. So I give him a lot of credit. He's really, that really impressed me, about him.
Not the film breakdowns are good. Yep.
Yeah, not that he has to live in the past, but he has a good contextual understanding of the history and how important he was.
Yeah, I met him in the gym the other day. Nice guy for sure. But yeah, I mean it's the Trevor Pena, good pickup, but we'll see. Obviously the fans are still
Mark,
upset.
you're gonna see this year, man. You're gonna see this year.
I hope so.
You're gonna see what you haven't seen in a long time.
I mean, like 2008, we came so close. Like we lost to Iowa, and like I cried for like 3 days after we lost to Iowa in 2008.
We gotta play it.
2005, huh?
We gotta play it Iowa this year.
2005 lost to Michigan last second. So we've been so close. 2017, if we didn't lose to Michigan State, we would have been in the playoff.
Oh, they would have gone to the national championship game that year.
Yeah, 2019. If we didn't lose to Minnesota, we would have made the playoff that year.
Minnesota was crazy that year, though. Their defense was very good.
Even 22, man, we lost to the only two losses were Ohio State and Michigan. Those are the only two losses, and I mean, and then 23 again, only two losses. We should have been in the playoff multiple times.
But we didn't have all the pieces. Now we do.
Yeah, and they were in
we'll see.
Listen, if they were in the ACC, they would have been in every single year.
All right, so we have all the pieces now, right? We have all the pieces now, right?
If we get one or two linebackers in the portal, we have all the pieces. If we don't, we're going to get one.
So if we don't win it all this year, what's the answer after that?
Well, we have to see what it looks
dicey.
Like.
Next year it gets really dicey.
It gets dicey next year, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, so we have all the pieces now, right?
Like I said, we have to see what it looks like. If we get to the chip, like we got to see what if we get blown out, then yeah, we got some problems. But if, like I said, if it's a close, hard-fought game, I don't know. It just depends on
I say no because we don't return anyone next year. We don't return Drew.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, we have to see what
the cupboard cleaned out next year.
Like, so my perspective is it doesn't matter who we have on our team. That doesn't mean we're going to win it all because we have Franklin as the coach. That's my perspective. So
we haven't had the pieces like this in a long time.
Well, okay, I know, but now that we do, right? So we got to win it all, right? And if we don't, then what? What's the excuse then?
We do have to win it all.
There is none.
That's what I mean. But if we don't, then what?
On a defensive coordinator, you spent millions on an offensive coordinator. You have 5 NFL players on your support staff.
So if we don't win it this year, which we should,
it's gonna be a long time until we
under Franklin. It's never ever going to happen.
It'd probably take a couple years to reset
stuff. Yeah,
to reset, and that's not just here. Like it's going to take Ohio State a little bit to reset. They're going to take a step back.
I don't know. I mean, they might take a step back, but it's Ohio State.
They lost 14 players, like 14 super seniors.
Yeah, the defensive line, that was a big thing. Your front seven and your top defensive back. That's.
Yeah, Michigan, they lost a lot too, but they got Bryce Underwood coming in. But anyway, so
that'll take time.
So if they don't win it all this year, what do you think going forward? Like Franklin's if they don't win it this year, man, Franklin's never going to win the national title. Never.
I mean, he's still relatively young in coaching perspective. So I don't know if you could say that in the day and age of the transfer portal where
he's only 54.
Yeah, you could turn over a roster. I mean, listen, look what
the fans hate him. You know
what? I understand there's a portion of the fan base is disappointed by many of the seasons where they had teams that should have made the playoffs, probably at least once or twice. But what I will say is, look at the commitment we're making financially as a school now compared to 4 years ago, right? And to me, that really highlights what he was saying. Like, we're really not, like, I'm not really playing with the same kind of salary cap others
All right.
are.
So if you take Ryan Day, Nick Saban, I'll just leave him out of it because he's different.
I don't think Ryan Day's that great a coach.
Well, I know, but you take Ryan Day, that dude that wears his hair like a 15-year-old teenager, that dude from Texas.
Sarkisian? I don't know if he's
Sarkisian, yeah. Either. Sarkisian, Day, Jim Harbaugh. You put them with them with Penn State last year.
Jim Harbaugh was a cheater, dude. He didn't do shit.
Do you think they win a national title with Penn State last year?
I don't think Sarkisian's that good a coach. What has he done?
Jim Harbaugh is a cheater. He's not a good coach.
Jim Harbaugh is and will always be a cheater.
Yeah.
Last year, to me, we were the most talented team in the country. And we didn't win.
I told you we were top 5. I didn't think we were the most talented. No. We were top 5.
We were up there.
Yeah.
So on the defensive line, Ohio State, they won the national title. Defensive line, Ohio State was better than us.
Defensive line, I mean,
they
proved it, right?
Okay,
the defensive line made the play versus.
They showed up.
Penn State had a better defensive line. Linebackers, maybe not.
I don't know. Sawyer, Tyleek Williams, and JTT. I mean, they had a lot of experience, though. Mark, too. Like Abdul
secondary, Carter, I think we had him on the secondary.
I don't know. Downs and Burke, they had good guys, man.
To be honest with you, our secondary could be better this year than it was last year.
Well, that's why I just told him. I think Washington is an upgrade over Kimber.
Yep. Collins is he's coming around.
Collins is really good. Now we're gonna miss Jalen Reed, I think.
Yeah. But Zakee Wheatley's gonna be a freak. I mean, he was a freak in the playoff last year. He's going to go off this year.
So you think Ohio State was better than us last year?
They have the national championship.
They had the receivers, man. That's why they were better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think they were better than us
last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the like, we both had good secondaries, good defensive lines, good running backs. We had a better tight end, but like to your point, like.
They had 4 or 5 receivers.
Ibuka's an NFL player. Jeremiah Smith's an NFL player. Like,
I think like
Darnell Tate.
They have.
It just seems like every single year, man. It just seems like every single year we have the most talent. Like Michigan, even Michigan last year, bro. Like I think we were better than that team last year or 2 years ago, 23.
Yeah, we should have beat them at home. We almost had.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. We had no offense that game and still almost came close.
You know, it seems to come down to coaching is my greater point. It seems to come down to coaching.
Some of it. We also didn't have Kolnicki 2 years ago. We had whatever that garbage offensive play calling was for Yurcich.
Yeah, I mean, we have Jim Knowles now. I think getting Jim Knowles kind of solidifies the fact that we're going to win it all.
Yeah.
But it's like, my God, man. Like,
listen,
again, like if we don't win it all this year, man, like I don't think it's the only way, because like even in 2016, you give Franklin credit for bringing that roster together and that coaching staff with Moorhead, but I don't say we like won the Big Ten title because of Franklin. Like I think we won because Moorhead was so good. So. Because we scored points, man. Like we scored a lot of points that year. Like Knowles.
Who hired Moorhead? Who hired him? James Franklin.
Yeah, it's what I know. I give him credit for that. But I would never say I don't. Yeah, I mean, Jim Knowles being here now, saying being that he stays, I think that guy and his coaching could lead to a national title in the future. But
the biggest thing is Kolnicki, year 2, he's licking his chops right now.
I mean, dude, we didn't score a touchdown against Ohio State last year on offense. Why does that happen?
It should have happened.
Harrison Wallace, they didn't catch the ball, and they didn't give the ball to Tyler Warren one time within the 5 yards.
I know, but that's what I mean.
It's not even that deep. It was right there.
But why though? Like, why don't
you got to ask Kolnicki? So I mean, you're throwing it's crazy. You're throwing a little shade at Franklin, but I would argue. I
always will, man.
I would argue
he deserves it.
Well, listen. Look back at last year, right? If you want to say, you could make a point that Kolnicki's play calling offensively when they were in the red zone at the end of the game versus Ohio State cost them more in that game than any Franklin decision.
But he's the head coach, man. Like at some point you got to take over.
He's not going to pay someone $2 million and say, "Oh, give me that clipboard."
He's the head coach, though. Like if you're not scoring a touchdown against Ohio State as a head coach, you need to make a change of some sort.
He trusted his coach, and his coach messed up.
You got to,
Okay, in 97. Okay, Matt.
You got to empower.
Matt, you remember in 97, right? They're getting blown out by Michigan. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, at halftime, Joe took the offense.
Bro,
that's different though.
That's much different than being in a one possession game. And that game was over. As soon as they hit Woodson on that skinny post and he was in, and they were up like 21-0 before they blinked, and then they got their tight end knocked the fuck out. That game was over, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like as a head coach, he does not. Game day coaching wise, Franklin's just horrible. But
he's gotten better. Like I said, he's made improvements compared to the past.
Matt, we lost to Notre Dame, man. Like that's bad.
We lost to Notre Dame for 3 reasons. Okay, we lost to Notre Dame, number one, because, and see, you touched on it, Omari Evans ran a really lazy route. Let's be real. Drew probably shouldn't have downed the ball like that, but you saw Franklin's reaction after. Like, what the fuck you doing? Like, we told you not to do that. Like, what else do you want the coach to do? He's out of eligibility. He can't go in the game. Yeah. And then the throw in the flat to Singleton. Yeah. He like, you could say Singleton could have caught it, but it's still.
I mean, that was a bad throw. Obviously,
it wasn't a perfect throw. You could argue Singleton could have brought it down.
I don't know if Warren catches that ball.
The one behind Singleton a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a harder catch than people think when you're accelerating in the flat and you got to come back and the ball's behind you because your momentum's taking you forward. It looks to some people easier than it actually really is.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, that is not an easy catch at all. Like people, bro, there's so many people out there, they never played football. All right. Like you can see a wide open receiver somewhere and they're like, throw him the ball. It's like, that's not exactly how it works. You just can't, just because someone's open doesn't mean you have to just throw it to them. Especially in the NFL, it's so schemy and stuff, but I mean, it's.
I can't blame Franklin for that loss. I mean, unless you wanted him to say.
No, I don't necessarily blame Franklin. I just we lost, and Aller, man, like I've said in the past, like when Anthony Morelli dropped back, I'm like, oh God, like what's going to happen here? I never knew what was going to happen. When Michael Robinson and Darryl Clark dropped back, you're like, all right, something's going to happen, like in a good way. You're like, all right, let's see. When Sean Clifford dropped back, you're like, please, God, don't throw their 4th interception of the game. With Aller, when he drops back, dude, I'm like, shit, I don't know what's going to happen. He doesn't seem confident at all. And, they have Danny O'Brien as his coach, who's also young and upcoming. He's good at it. But, dude, I think he needs like a veteran quarterback coach. I
think it's just the receivers. I disagree. I think Danny O'Brien knows what he's doing. It's the receivers. I mean, listen, you're not, Mark, you're not even going to recognize Drew Aller after the third game. You're going to be like, oh, is this Kerry Collins? Like, they're going to be that much better on offense.
That is going to be in the archive right there. After the third game, I'll be like,
saved there.
Matt.
Well, it's weird.
I told you about the two all-conference players, right?
No, Matt, I don't disagree with you, Matt. Like, I agree with pretty much everything you say. I agree. That's a hot take right there, man.
Have you guys noticed, though, like, Drew, game 1 against West Virginia last year, he dropped back. He was so comfortable. He looked great in that game, right? I understand West Virginia's not the best, but that was his first game of the season.
Quality
on the road. He was comfortable. He had time. He set his feet. And then some games, it could just be, it might not even be Ohio State or Oregon. Some games he's just skipping around like he's not consistent. And that comes with experience, right? Like if he can just keep his composure, his emotional, be the thermostat, not the thermometer, like he can do it any game against anybody. It's just the whole demeanor, like he's inconsistent with it. So if he can be against West Virginia or against Boise State, like the way he was those games, he played really well. And I wanted to say about Kotelnicki going to learn from his mistakes. Every coach does. I mean, look at Texas last year in the playoff. That goal line set they had was as bad or worse than Penn State's against Ohio State. You know what I'm talking about?
Worse, way worse.
Texas against Ohio State, their play calling there was absolutely terrible.
He ran 4 quarterback sneaks.
Oh, it was so freaking
good. And we've said this before too, Brett. Kotelnicki scored less than 17 points twice in his career, and it was Jim Knowles both times.
So that's good. We have him on our team now. We're good.
Which I'm sure Franklin was like, all right, if you can't beat him, join him. Type of thing.
And think about
they scored 10 points this time against Jim Knowles that last year. I mean, that's like holy crap, dude.
Well, 6 because of the pick 6. So 6 points.
Yeah, here's another thing too. You got these guys coaching against each other in practice now.
Yep.
Iron
sharpens iron. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Because you do like ones versus ones. So.
This is the biggest thing for this year, and then what Andy Kotelnicki did last year with 0 receivers basically, and 1 insane tight end and 2 running backs is hard to do, man. He schemed it up. Think about what he's doing right now, licking his chops. He says, okay, we have 3 receivers. Well, any of them could be a star this year. All 3 of them could be consistent, and you got the tight end room and the running backs. He's gonna have a heyday. Just think about it. He's going to have a freaking heyday, man.
Think Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
Drew Kerry Aller.
It's going to click for him, I'm telling you.
It is.
Yep.
There's just too much around him for it not to.
Lamar Allar.
You like that? Lamar Allar, man.
Well,
We're not going to see any Lamar Allar this year. That's the thing. I don't want to see any Lamar Allar.
Used to be Drew Jackson. That's a better name.
We got Lamar Keith coming next year.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they like 23 and 24. They beat all right. So 23, for example, they beat the piss out of every other team other than Ohio State and Michigan. Yeah. I mean, they dominated Maryland, Rutgers. Like they just beat the crap out of all of them. And then last year, pretty much every other team except like Bowling Green, they just beat up.
Minnesota.
You know what I mean? So, because here's the thing. Mike Tomlin does not win games he's supposed to win. He's an absolute clown. Franklin wins games. Like, Franklin is like, I don't know. He's like 96% against the spread against teams that they're favored by.
Yeah.
The fact that he wins the games like Rutgers, Maryland, Iowa, the fact that he wins those year in, year out is like, that's not easy to do that. So that, he's got that going for him too, but we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
It's going to play out well.
Matt, would you need to go, Matt?
No.
Okay. What'd you think of the draft?
Don't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
So at the Blue White game, I was driving out. My son had a baseball game Thursday, so we were driving out while it was going on. So I didn't watch. I used to love going to the draft. I used to go. I used to go into New York at Theater Madison Square Garden. It was free. Me and my dad used to take me. We'd watch it. It was fun event. I used to love following the draft, the mock drafts, those Streets and Smith magazines. Remember all that stuff like that? That was cool. But my focus just as a fan the past couple of years has really been more Penn State. So draft, and they make too much hoopla of it. The time between picks and going on stage. I mean, listen, they're monetizing it great. It's good for everyone, but it's a tougher watch. It doesn't have a lot of flow to it for a football fan who just wants to see, like, okay, give me the pick, give me a little breakdown, project some trades, and let's move along. It turns what would be a good 1 hour movie into a 3 hour like snooze fest.
You have a team?
Patriots.
Yeah, they had a good draft, but Abdul goes 3, Warren goes 14. Dude, the Bears passed on him. Like, they passed on him. They got Luther Burden too. My God, that's crazy.
That's why they're the Bears. Why? That's why they're Bears. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be that great. I think
he's not. I mean, the man paints his nails. He's a weird. He's something else, man. Like, he is something else. I'll tell you that. But they got Loveland.
That was a bad pick. I mean, he's a good player. I just don't think he was better than Tyler Warren.
It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. Like,
that's what it is.
And then Mel Kiper, he had Shedeur Sanders as the best quarterback of all time. You know what's crazy about that? They drafted Cam Ward, and while he's should be shown being drafted, they're playing a Shedeur Sanders highlight
at the draft.
Like, that has anything to do with Cam Ward?
But, at the draft, they were.
Yeah.
I can't watch any of that stuff.
It's pretty wild, man. Like, they had this guy going high, and then he doesn't go to the 5th round. But yeah. But
the picks are weird this year, man. I don't know. Once you get in like the mid rounds, like, I thought some teams made some very unusual pick. Like, there were guys that went undrafted that you were like, what? I don't know. There were a lot of good players that were picked at the end, or I don't know, man. It was a weird draft for me.
Yeah, it's not always like the best player, man. Like, a team doesn't always just take the player because they're like the best on the board. Like, they just don't do that.
Like, how does Jaden Kimber not get drafted? Like, at all? How does Jalen Reed barely get drafted?
Yeah. Kobe King, 5th round, 6th round, right?
Well, I mean, it's a little late. I mean, I understand. Hey, listen, a lot of teams in the NFL run a lot of 2 linebacker sets. There's not a lot of like classic middle linebackers.
And he's not a coverage guy, so. Yeah.
But still, I mean, he's a quality player. Reminds me of Patriots had this linebacker from Purdue for like 5. Juwan Bentley reminds me of him. He had a nice little NFL career. But he should be cashing some paychecks for a while.
And then Devontae Thomas, like, he didn't even sign with anybody from what I saw. I didn't see as a free agent. Everybody else did, but him.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
See,
I don't think everybody else did. Like, what's his name? Who was 99? Who was 99?
Yeah, Josiah Izzard. That was weird. I don't know why.
Izzard signed with somebody, but
yeah, the Chiefs. I was a little surprised he left, and I thought he was really set to have like a breakout year at defensive tackle and solidify himself as like.
He was at eligibility.
Was he Josiah Izzard?
Yeah, he was 6th year.
Was he? Okay, that was.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. The only reason Fisher is still here is because of all the injuries. Fisher missed like 2 years, man. Zariah Fisher, 2 or 3 actually, right?
Well, dude, they have so many guys coming back, man. Like they have. But yeah, you are right about the draft being a weird one this year. Like it just wasn't that good of a draft. Next year, dude, there's a guy on Bleacher Report. I forget his name, Kirk Beckhart or something like that. He's on Instagram. He said that Arch Manning is not going to come out for the draft next year because he's making so much in college. And he said something else.
Who knows?
But I think it would be crazy if Arch Manning didn't come out next year. I mean, it'd be cool for him, like if they don't win a national title, for him to come back. But
Arch will stay. He'll have 2 more years left. He's not going to leave after next year. It'll be his first year starting.
All right, so they got Alonzo Ford's coming back. They got some guys coming back, man. You know,
coming off an injury though.
Caleb Artis, Zane Durant, Deny. Like Zane Durant, man. If he has a year, like bro, that guy should. Like, how big is he?
290, 6'1", 290. He's built like a freaking brick house.
He is 6'1", 292. So, because of his height, I don't know if he would be a first-round pick, but he's good enough. I think if he had a year, he could be a first-round pick. He's just not that tall, you know?
But you know who reminds me of a young him? The guy they just brought in from Florida, Ricky Adarica. He's a little bit taller. I'm telling you, he's going to be a similar type of player for us, hopefully. Anyways, so he's a true freshman.
Well, you know, they got Jalen Harvey, they got Anai White, they got Deny, they got Zane, Caleb Artis.
Jalen Harvey should have a good year.
Dude, they need to put Anai White at like the right edge because that guy needs to play. Max Granville, Malachi.
Max Granville.
Liam Andrews is in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I have Max Granville second, but behind DBS.
Deion Barnes plays,
you know, on the offensive side, man, you got Drew Shelton, and you got Javen Williams, man. You got Javen Williams, Birchmeyer as backup still, and then Cooper Cousins. He takes the spot of that guy that left, but you know, Nolan Rucci, that transfer, Cooper Cousins, Nick Dawkins, Vega, Drew Shelton. I mean, you got guys that we got a ton of depth, man.
But Rucci,
and then again, like a running back, dude. Our problem is we're gonna have guys transferring. That's how many guys we got a running back.
Rucci showed out last year, man.
Like,
Rucci
we're stacked,
really good.
We are stacked.
But Anthony Donka, I think he's better.
Yeah, that's the thing. But Donka's coming off the injury. We'll see when he's good to go.
Yeah, we'll see.
You got to put them both in, man, because Rucci's run blocking is very good, just like Donka.
6 offensive linemen, 7.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Donka, bro, like he's already a freak, but you may as well put the senior in there since he's older.
Donka's a redshirt sophomore coming up this year. He was a redshirt freshman last year. He's mauling people.
He's huge.
Yep.
I mean, we showed that picture of him, man, on Instagram.
Huge.
That like side by side comparison.
Yep.
What channel was that, Brett? That we showed that?
I can't remember, man. There's so many pages now on there. Oh man.
But Matt, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, listen, I think we covered everything. We obviously talked about the receivers, talked about the transfer portal. We talked about kind of the coaching expectations with obviously two new, well, at least Knowles and then obviously Kolnick, you knew last year coming in. I think everyone's expectation is for them to win the national championship this year. I mean, that's mine. My expectation is for them to win the national championship, and I think they will.
Like, look at that right there.
Yep.
Bro, this girl looks like a child next to him. Look at that.
I'd look like a child next to him, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm 6'3", 180.
Well, this girl's probably like 5'2",
Yeah, probably.
How tall are you, Matt?
6'3".
Yeah, you're not that far off.
Donko's 6'5", so yeah. But he's thick. I mean, look, he's huge.
He's freaking huge, man. Look at that. Like, that guy, he's not even like the same realm as this girl.
So, Mark, what do you have? Where do you have them? Where do both of you guys? I guess before we sign off tonight, where do you see them finishing this year? Obviously,
I see us winning the Big Ten. We're going to take the Big Ten, man. We're going to win it, and then we're going to get to the Natty. I hope we win it. I don't know if we're going to, but we're going to get to the Natty. I think it's going to be Penn State versus Texas for the Natty. Possible. Because if not Texas, who? Think about it.
I mean, I've got
maybe Clemson, because Clemson has a lot coming back. But I like Cade Klubnik. He's a good quarterback. They have some receivers coming in. They have Ryan Wingo? He was a true freshman last year. He was really good. Or Wesco.
And a nice shitty conference.
Yeah, it's a crappy conference, but
I mean, we got 3 wins here. Oregon, I think will win because
they have they lost a lot. Yeah,
we'll see.
They lost.
Ohio, Iowa. I mean, dude, Iowa. It's at Iowa, right? Yeah.
We can play our practice squad against Northwestern and beat them by 30.
I might go to that UCLA game. It'd be nice to go see a game at the Rose Bowl again.
I mean, Iowa, dude.
We got to play Nico now.
Oh.
Yeah, Nico's at UCLA.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know how we're going to do, honestly, because we got Oregon, we got Ohio State.
All our hard games are at home except for Ohio State.
I mean, I've said it a million times. Like, this is our year against Ohio State. But
that'll be Drew's second time going out there. I'll be ready for it.
I mean, that's going to be a huge game, bro.
At Rutgers.
But here's the thing, man. Like, Ohio State, I don't think is going to be that good next year.
And they'll be a top 5 or 6 team, but I could see them struggling at times. They're just
like
they have
I don't
to
know
too much.
I don't know if Ohio State. Let me see what their schedule is here. So they got Texas. Texas is the home. Texas is the opener, bro.
Yep.
I don't think they win that game.
No.
I would be surprised if they did.
They're going to lose to Ohio.
Yeah, I don't think Sarkisian's a good coach, Mark. I mean, I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's elite.
I don't even know if they're going to be. We'll see.
I would be surprised if they beat
that could be a game, but I don't know if they're undefeated coming into our game.
Wisconsin's garbage.
But yeah, I think we're good, guys. We're all yawning. I'm yawning because I was golfing today.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
It was like hot and humid.
It was nice on when the portal window closes, and then that way we'll have a very clear.
Yeah, once if we get another guy, but Matt, it's always good to have you on, man. Thanks for coming on.
Both you guys, and don't be surprised if you get both.
We're gonna get both on back in. Well, we're gonna get the one we want real quick is the guy from Rutgers. That's Torre's brother, and he's a 7th-year senior because he was out 2 years, kind of like Zariah Fisher. He missed 2 full years. He's more advanced than Amari Campbell from North Carolina. The film breakdown that our boy did, Landon Tangwell, shows that the Rutgers guy's better. So we want him if we're only going to get one. But we'll take
Matt, Matt, you think we're going to get another receiver, right? You think it's possible?
No. They need defense. They need linebacker, maybe defensive tackle.
So
I think with Tamir Roberts, I think with Robertson transferring changes the dynamic because I think that was a little unexpected. So to me, their focus is linebacker, one if not two, and maybe some beef up front at defensive tackle. I just, even if something fell in their lap, I think their focus is those two positions now with Robertson.